Okay, good morning. Going to make a little camera adjustment and we'll get started. All right, well, as always, we begin our warm-up by establishing a comfortable, balanced stance as we begin arm swinging. So the balanced stance for this practice is your feet under your hips, under your hip joints, about hip width apart, and really soft knees. Our whole warm-up before we even begin the Qigong form is about opening the joints of the body from head to toe. So as we stand with relaxed knees, swinging our arms gently to open up the shoulders, once you kind of get some momentum going, you might be able to feel a natural bounce. Right? So if you're feeling movement in your knees, go with it. Really, we're not wanting to brace ourselves with our legs ever, but especially not in this practice. Ankles, knees, and hips all work together, or they're designed to anyway, if we let them. So feeling into the soles of the feet now, letting the weight be supported by your heels way back behind you, as well as the fronts of your feet, the balls of the feet. You should be able to wiggle your toes, move your toes, right? So you're not leaning forward onto your toes, they're able to move. And from the soles of the feet down into the ground. You can imagine this arm swinging as a pump, pumping chi up through the ground into the floor you're standing on and into your feet. And this arm swinging is opening up the chest, the shoulders, the upper back, and hopefully kind of bringing your attention, your awareness into the present moment, into the embodied present moment, right? This whole practice that we'll do today is all meditation. This is a form of meditation. We're just moving. So we're breathing, we're moving, and we're aware of our breathing and our moving. That's what makes it mindful meditation. And my teacher, Franz Merkel, says that you should be able to stand and do this arm swinging, this is what his teacher told him, for hours and hours without getting tired. So if you're doing this with a lot of vigor, maybe take it back a notch. Keep it easy, gentle. Just trying to free up the arms so they can be very, very flexible and allow for the flow. Good. All right, so we're going to let this gradually slow down and come to stillness. Just a reminder that all our moves, especially in the form, but right now as we're about to go into a spiral, movement or the impulse to move coming from center right here, about 3 inches or 3 or 4 finger widths below your navel, your belly button. It's right about here. Or you could find your 2 hip bones on the side and bring your fingers in where they meet. That's going to be center. In back, right here, middle of your sacrum. So if you're thinking about where Dantian, where center is, both center of gravity in the body and center of energy in this in this practice, it's between the hands, right? So we have our hands, and you'll see this, we'll do this, and you'll see this in pictures and other videos. The hands are here, but the center of energy is behind the hands, right? It's not on the surface of the belly, it's deep in the middle of the pelvic bowl. So we're going to begin turning side to side from that place. So let your hips move in with your arms nice and floppy. They will wrap around and tap your body. Like that nice loose arms. We're really just using the momentum of the spiraling to move the arms. Let the arms be really, really loose. And they'll land wherever they need to on your body. And obviously, you're not really hitting yourself. Please don't. This is all about kindness. Good. So, slowing that, letting that subside, come to center. Yeah, this whole practice is a kindness to ourselves, isn't it? And then that'll radiate out to the people in our lives. Good. So let's breathe in. And on the out breath, let the head drop forward. And then inhale the ear to one side and back. Exhale over to the other side. And we'll do these neck rolls using the weight of the head and gentle movement and breathing to stretch out. Open up the throat, the jaw, the neck. Go the other way. Breathing in as you come up one side of the circle, breathing out as you come down the other side. Good. On your next exhalation, as you breathe out, we're moving into spinal flexion, rolling down the spine. One vertebra at a time. So see if you can let the crown of your head lead. And then we're going to reverse the process, breathing in. Tuck your tailbone under, and from there, as though you could lengthen the spine right up through the middle of you, all the way up to the top of your head. So not stretching, not doing a lot with muscle, but seeing if we can let life energy help that spine lengthen up, put a little space between each of the vertebrae. Yeah, now we're gonna open up the upper back, chest, shoulders with some shoulder rolls. Inhaling, exhaling. See if you can coordinate breathing in and out with these simple rotations of your shoulders. As we're warming up, and of course throughout the class, please pay attention to anything that is causing pain. Let's reverse and go the other way with shoulder rolls. You shouldn't be feeling pain. Certainly not in the Qigong form itself, but in just these simple opening moves to warm up the joints. If anything we do is painful, you can, like if this shoulder was really hurting, you could just do this on one side. If reaching out or bending over is hard on one side or the other, please, you don't have to baby yourself, but know what your limits are and respect them. It's really okay. It's not any kind of failure or half practice. The practice is about meeting ourselves where we are, always. So you can even sit. In fact, I'm going to bring a chair out, and there might be a move or two that I do. I'll demonstrate what it would look like sitting. There might be a couple of moves that would be helpful to know how to do sitting. So maybe today, but keep a chair handy in case you need to sit. You certainly could sit and do shoulder rolls and neck rolls, right? You could even do spiraling on a chair, but we'll get to that. All right, so shoulders. Now we're going to work on our elbows and wrists. So let's cross, move a little closer, cross at the wrists. We're going to throw our arms back and away, and alternating which hand is on top each time. It's as though we're just tossing away any gripping, any tension in the arms, freeing the elbows, freeing the wrists. This also feels pretty good across the pectorals, across the chest. Make sure you're breathing. Check your knees. Have they locked up again? If so, let them go. All right. Now we'll just specifically move through the wrists, both directions. And then we're going to work the fingers of the hands, opening and closing all the finger joints. Let's inhale, lift up. Exhale, come back down again. So we're breathing in, breathing out. Once more for good measure. Big breath in and let it out. Shake out the hands. Any residual holding can go. Going to move through the rib cage. It doesn't move as much as the hips or the head or the shoulders, but it does move. And so we're going to inhale and lift. I'm putting a hand here because it's easier to feel. Lift on the inhale. And then on the exhale, curving forward, right? So we're breathing in, breathing out. See if you can isolate just the ribs. Now the ribs go pretty far down, and they come all the way up to above your collarbone. So it's a big chunk of your torso. Let's see if you can just really feel that flexible set of ribs as you breathe in and out. Excuse me. If you're a regular to Qigong class, you know that Qigong often opens the sinus passages. So in the morning class, I've been up for a few hours, but still, when I practice Qigong in the morning like this, it does tend to bring on a little bit of relief for my sinuses. Good. Everything flows when we practice Qigong, right? All right. So that's that. Now we're going to move into pelvic circles. You don't have to have your hands on your hips for this unless you want to. But you can see that the upper body stays relatively still. We're going to go the other way. And if pelvic rotation is new to you, or you feel like you haven't really done this before, you can use a couple of visual images. One would be, think about your tailbone underneath you, having a long paintbrush or something attached to it so that you're actually drawing an oval on the floor underneath you with your tailbone. So you can think about trying to draw a circle. Or you can imagine yourself being inside something like a barrel where you're trying to touch the inner circumference of the circle that surrounds you. So there's a couple of images you can use if free movement of your hips and pelvis is unusual for you. If you're still learning to free up this place that's rather frozen in so many people, using imagery can help sometimes. And just do your best. Let that be good enough. Any kind of open movement you're doing through your joints that you don't usually do, it's got to be a change, right? So we'll just say hi to the knees now, placing your hands on your knees, on the fronts of your knees, and doing rotations like this. You can also, if you have any knee issues, you can put your foot up somewhere and just really give your knee, a good massage, if that's what it feels like you need this morning. And now the other reason to maybe keep a chair or something nearby, if you need to, you can help yourself balance as we're going to extend a foot and point and flex. We're opening the ankles now. So we did the hips, we just did the knees. Now we're circling the ankles in both directions. And so if you need to steady yourself with something like a chair, feel free to do that. This is really more about freeing up the joints of the legs, not really balancing. It's not really a balancing pose. So, okay, so there's that. Now we're going to do this pedaling motion. Good. As though you're pedaling a bike. This is just moving the hip, knee, and ankle joint, reminding ourselves how they coordinate together. Good. Shake out that leg, any residual tension. Place the foot again right under your hip. Extend the other foot, and we'll repeat on this side. Point and flex first, and then circles, both directions. You might notice that one direction feels more awkward or harder to do. That's not unusual. And the pedaling motion, the bicycle move. Good. Shake it out. Place the foot again. Good. Okay. So we've moved through all the joints from head to toe. And let's just take a few moments to come to what I think of as home base or neutral. There's really no neutral in the body, but this is kind of where you would go to in between each move. If each of the 18 moves didn't lead from one to the other, when you finished one, you'd come to this. So this is kind of home base. Let's take in 3 full breaths now, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you breathe out, let your jaw relax and feel your connection to the earth. So breathing in, focusing on the support under the feet. Breathing in a second time. Letting shoulders, arms, jaw relax. Third time. Good. Now you can let your breathing return to its own natural pace. Bringing some awareness to what's behind the hands as they rest here at center, Dantian. When you breathe, you can maybe feel your abdomen moving and your hands moving away from the body. So we're going to begin with that. Let your hands hover an inch or 2 or 3 away from center. This is a comfortable position for my hands with fingertips touching, but you don't have to do that. You can just let the palms of the hands hover right in front of center here. And as we inhale, we're going to move the hands away from the body a little. And as you breathe out, bring them back. Breathing in and out. Just follow your body's own natural rhythm for breathing, which might be faster or slower than mine. But feeling the expansion of chi and the release with every breath. Relaxed knees, relaxed shoulders, facial muscles nice and relaxed. Don't concentrate with a tight face. We're opening, we're receiving life energy as we breathe in and out. Good, and on your next exhale, you can bring your hands to your sides. Let them rest. We're harmonizing the energy of the earth, what's below, with the energy of the heavens, what's above. And as we move into the 18 harmonizing moves, keeping that in mind, right here in center is the core of this practice where we're blending, harmonizing, moving chi and being moved by chi. Okay, so see if as you're practicing, you can keep center in mind. And remember that you don't have to follow my exact rhythm. If my breathing is faster or slower than yours, this is a time for you to be tuning in and really listening carefully to your own body and what you need. So we'll begin by raising the chi on an inhale, hands about shoulder height. Exhale. Little bit of sinking down on the exhale. So you're going to let the knees bend as you breathe out. Mist rising off the lake is another name for this move. So let it be that light. Breathing in, the second move is opening the heart to what is. We exhale as we bring the hands back together and down. We inhale as we move up and out. Bringing energy up and out from below, breathing. It comes back again. It's a circle. It's a cycle of breathing, yes? Third move, inhaling the hands up overhead, palms facing each other. Then we breathe out and curve to the side. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the other side. We're breathing in, breathing out. Swinging the rainbow. The rainbow of chi. As you curve, it begins from the hips. So watch that you're not just waving your arms around. The curve is a side curve for the spine, and the arms are just following. Feeling that beautiful, natural lengthening into the curve on the side. You can feel from the sole of the foot on the floor to the fingertips overhead. Let this chi flow open you today. Good, we're coming up to center, and then as we exhale, palms toward the sky to part the clouds. Then we squat, cross at the wrists, and inhale again, the hands up overhead. On the exhale, parting the clouds. Following the pace of your breathing, so the movement is only as fast as the length of an in-breath and the length of an out-breath. Sometimes this is the thing that's hardest for people to get in the beginning, is the sort of coordinating timing of breathing and moving. Good. On your next exhalation, arms stay outstretched, and we do another spiral from center, right? From the pelvis. We're spiraling side to side with the arms soft yet extended. And without the arms, it would look like this. So if you're just waving your arms from side to side, let them rest. And begin spiraling your whole spine like a barber pole, right? And then you can add your arms and know that the power of the spiral is coming from the base of the spine, not your arms. Good. Let them float like silk in the air, right? The arms are as light as silk, floating along as you spiral. Breathing out, exhaling as you come from behind, inhaling, and then exhaling. But you can play with your breathing on this and see what feels possible today. Breathing in and out in a rhythm that works for you. Good, we'll come back to center and we'll inhale as we bring the hands back and up overhead. And exhale, coming back down again. So this is rowing across the big lake, letting the legs move you up and down. So again, without the arms, you'll be doing this. Maybe you can see it easier in profile. Legs are moving me. Good. Hips are coming back, knees are going forward, hands up overhead, and exhale as you're rowing, as though you're rowing a boat. And when you squat over on the exhale, it's as though you're sitting down in the boat. So we're not falling forward. We're bringing energy up from below and then down from above. Inhale and exhale. Let it be fun. See if you can have fun with this one. Inhale and then breathe it out. Once more. Nice. Now we're going to inhale the hand, sweep it up, and then exhale, bring the palm back down. Right here at center where there's a little chi ball. We will inhale and exhale on the other side. This is raising the sun. And you might notice that as I'm raising a hand, I'm also lifting a heel. And then they both come back down together. Hands switching right at center. Good, and this goes right into gazing at the moon. Same basic move, only both hands. So we're inhaling as we lift up to gaze at the moon, and we're exhaling as we bring both hands down. And no heels lifting on this one, so you're going to keep your feet planted. Good, let's come back to center now. Again, we'll inhale, bring one hand back. We're going to push on the out breath, turn, gathering lotus leaves. So we're breathing out as we push out, turn, make that gathering motion and inhale as you come back to center. Good, we're inhaling a hand up in front of the face now, exhaling as we spiral. So breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. This is waving at clouds, and you're looking at your hand. Palm of the hand right at eye level, and that's where you're looking. As you're spiraling again, as always, from center. Good, we're coming back to center. Again, home base. Now picture yourself at the ocean. We're going to scoop the ocean, look at the sky. So we're inhaling and then stepping out on the exhale, lunging forward to scoop, leaning back, breathing in, looking up, looking at the sky. So we're shifting from the back leg to the front leg to the back leg. Scoop it up. Breathe in. Take in what's above, bring it down to earth. Scoop what's below, lean back, breathe in, bring it up. You might even picture yourself literally scooping water at the beach, throwing it up in a refreshing way. I think about this sometimes when I'm practicing on a hot summer day. Imagine bathing myself in refreshing chi. So you can think of it that way. Good, bring the front foot back. We'll inhale, exhale, step out on the other side and repeat. Now this one, let's just pause. You can keep practicing on your feet, but for those of you who have trouble with this one, what would this be like in a seated position? You'd still have one foot in front. You'd breathe in and you would just shift on your seat to scoop. Inhale, lean back, look at the sky. You're going to be rotating on your sitting bones against the seat of the chair. Now you can't do this on a chair that's really heavily padded, and obviously don't use a chair with wheels. But you can sit on the front of a straight back chair like I'm doing, and it's okay. If it's hard for your legs, you can still be moving chi from a seated position. Good, bring that front foot back. So the next two are lunge moves too. So if sitting was helpful for you just now, if you tried it, you can stay seated. But for the rest of us, we're going to inhale the palms at shoulder height forward. Again, we're going to exhale as we lunge forward, pushing the waves. Breathe in as you bring your hands back. So we're breathing in, breathing out. And the hands kind of make a circle here, don't they? Coming back, coming forward. Yeah. Feel the body's natural breath, movement, and awareness. One more on this side. Breathe out. And as you inhale, you can bring the front foot back. Step out on the other side. Same thing. You're pushing off with your back foot, leaning back. Now, please be careful not to just curve and fall forward on these lunges. So we're not coming down like this. Right? We're really just coming straight forward. Good. Bring your back foot in and we'll inhale. Exhale, step out again into a lunge, this time making a circle with the arms and hands. Inhale, bring your hands toward your chest. So we're breathing out as we lunge forward, breathing in as we come back, just like the two moves that we just did. Flying Dove Spreads Its Wings is the name of this one. So we're spreading our wings on the out breath, gathering in what you want and need on the in breath. Gather it in. What do you need today? Breathe in, bring that front foot back. Inhale, step out on the other side and repeat. Good, bring your front foot back. Loose fists at hip height. Exhale, turn, inhale. Breathing out, breathing in. This is dragon emerging from the sea. And that's my cat. That's not a baby being strangled. That's my cat singing her morning song. She's very old. You might see her even walk through sometimes in these morning classes. Sometimes she even comes and sits with me when I meditate, so that's really fun. Good. We'll breathe out. Breathe in. One more, whatever side you're on. This will be the last one. And then we'll widen our stance and inhale the hands up overhead, backs of the hands touching. Exhale, we come back down. This is flying wild goose. Up on the toes, let the backs of the hands touch as though you're flying. Flying wild goose. There's a lot of them these days. I hear them flying overhead all the time now. It's the season. And if you don't like geese, you can choose a different bird that you do like. And be that bird. Inhale. And exhale. Come back down. Yeah. One more. Heaven and earth. And then we'll inhale the hands up one side of the circle. Exhale them down the other side. This is the windmill. Go the other way now, but we're still breathing out as we bring the palms from heaven to earth and inhaling as we bring the palms from earth to heaven. Right, so it's as though we're bringing energy down with the hands, right? And then lifting it up, raising it up, and just one more circle in the windmill. Inhale back up to center, and bringing the arms and hands back down to your sides. And we'll inhale, exhale. This is walking through the tall grass. So the opposite hand and foot on the in-breath come up, on the out-breath, they come back down. It's very slow. As slow as your long, deep breath. Yes. Inhale, coming up. Now, one little tip I have to say, because of being an Alexander teacher, you're thinking up as you raise your hand and foot. Can you think up even as you bring them down? So all you're bringing down then is the hand and the foot, not the whole body, right? So you're going to stay up on top of yourself. That is going to keep you balanced. So even as you lower your hand and your foot, maybe staying nice and long and tall in your spine, not collapsing, just walking as though you're walking through tall grass or some really thick, sticky molasses or taffy. Yeah. Let's do one more on each side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Good. And the last of the 18 moves is gathering the fragrance of the earth. Good. So on an inhale, inhaling, bringing the hands up, exhaling. We end up right here at center. So we're bending over, we're inhaling. Now, if it's hard for you to get all the way to the ground, it's fine. You can kind of gather at about knee height if that's easier for you. And then we flip the hands and bring them here. One more. And we will come back to where we started. Again, check in with your knees. No bracing of the legs. Let those ankles, knees, hips be movable, responsive, supportive. Good. Nice tall spine, not having to stretch, but just feeling how things get aligned in the body. Good breath in and out. We'll bring the left hand out to be the moon. The right hand, a little fist, can be the sun. We're going to bring the sun and the moon together in a salute. and a bow. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you for your Qigong practice today. Now, this is a time where we usually spend 10 or 15 minutes in lightly guided mindfulness meditation. I invite you to stay, take a seat somewhere comfortable, and I'll guide us into a time of meditation practice. So as we're settling in, just a reminder that these weekly practice sessions are offered freely. It's my privilege to be able to share my own Qigong practice with the public. If you have been using the recordings here, that makes me happy. If you've been attending live on Friday mornings, that makes me even happier. And if you find value in this practice and these sessions, I really encourage you to show your thanks by making a donation. People's generosity and giving for these donation-based classes makes it possible for me to keep offering them. And you make it possible for people who really don't have the means to attend the more structured teaching Qigong classes on Mondays and Wednesdays. If people can't afford to pay to come to class those nights, that's what this is for, so that you either have a recording or this live session or both at no cost. So those of you who have made donations this year, thank you. I'm really grateful. If you've been enjoying this and you haven't made a donation in a while, please consider doing so. You will make it possible for more people to enjoy these practices. So let's settle in. You might just feel how things are in the body as we take about 10 minutes for some mindful meditation. Gently closing the eyes or adopting a soft downward gaze so that the attention now is moving inward. And we can begin by doing a brief scan through the body, just sending the attention. Let's start at the top of the head, the ears on the sides of the head, and the face, and just notice what sensations are present for you in the head and face right now. Letting any tension behind the eyes, across the forehead or in the jaw, letting that all soften. And the key word there is letting. So no forcing of things to be different than they are, but just seeing, if there's any gripping, maybe you could ease up on yourself a little. And that might be true for the neck and the shoulders and the throat too. So bringing some attention there, seeing how it is. Is there room for a release across the shoulders, in the neck? And how is it in the arms and hands? Can you feel how they're at rest now after a period of movement? Letting the hands and arms be at rest. Feeling your own touch if your hands are resting somewhere on your body. And then feeling what the hands are touching.
Bringing attention to the whole trunk now. What would it be like to simply receive the sensations in the torso, the chest, the upper back, the solar plexus, the mid-back, the abdomen and the lower back, the lumbar region, and all the way down to the pelvis, feeling where the weight of the body is contacting the seat that you've taken, the seat that's supporting you right now. Can you bring some curious interest to whatever you're feeling, whatever's moving in this body now, whatever sensations are here, and noticing the legs and feet as well, including them in your awareness. These legs and feet that were, until a few minutes ago, really moving quite a lot, doing a lot to support and move and power through this amazing Qigong series of movements. Let the legs be resting now, perhaps feeling tingling, pulsing. And then just widening the lens of attention to take in the whole body now from head to toe. Just holding the body in kind awareness. Willing to receive these sensations, willing to feel whatever is here to be felt. And if your mind wanders away from sensing this body and the way things are moving in it, that's okay. That is normal. When you notice that your mind has drifted off, that's a moment of mindfulness. You've noticed it, and so you can choose to gently return to sensing the body, feeling the weight of the body, feeling the breath moving in the body, whatever sensations might be here right now. Maybe you can feel the liberated qi flowing differently in your body now than it was a few minutes ago. We'll continue in silence for a few minutes, and you can just stay with being interested in sensations as they come and go, noticing that there's nothing permanent. Stay with the changing flow of sensation. Dwelling in sensation, becoming sensitive to all the many moving parts of the body, even in relative stillness. Allowing awareness to bring ease and balance. Once again, I thank you for your practice. Thank you for joining me live or by recording. I wish you wellness. Have a great day.